Joining us here on the Rich Eisen Show, one of my favorites. He's 3-1. He's on his bye week. He's got a big college rivalry game coming up this week, and he's Baker Mayfield. How are you, Baker?
I'm doing great. How are you, Rich?
How'd you wake up today, Baker? How did you wake up today?
Just real relaxed. No dangerous feeling yet.
No. That's a bye week deal? That's a bye week
deal?
That's
a bye week deal. Take the fellas to the Bahamas. What are you doing?
Yeah. Thank you, Baker.
Thank you. That's my G right
We're not
there.
all Baker Mayfield.
Jeez.
Okay?
That's my guy. Let's go.
Wait a minute. You did wake up dangerous. How dare you lob it into this studio like that? My
Just
gosh.
a little feisty. That's it. Just a little feisty.
So did you tell me about that? Because Jason Light dropped that knowledge that you took your lineman to the Bahamas. Is that what you did? What'd you do?
We had 3 out of the 5 guys. We had Tristan Wirfs, Luke Gadecki, and Robert Hainsey. We all went down that Labor Day weekend. We got the 3-day break we get with the 3 preseason games now. So we went down there and enjoyed some great weather, the water, and just had a good time.
Okay, and the chemistry building is obviously something that you take seriously as a quarterback, as somebody of your nature. Also, he's mentioned that you've been spotted around town in dive bars with Mike Evans. Is that true too, Baker? Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple local watering holes that we frequent. Mostly a lineman, but yeah,
okay.
It's got to get the guys out. You know, you fight hard for each other. You got to enjoy the downtime together, and it's a great group of guys. So it's not like it's forcing anything. It's just good friendship, and I love those guys.
I love it, too. I love hearing that because, he also, one last thing that he mentioned I want to hit off you, is he said that you kind of targeted them a little bit more than maybe they were targeting you in the non-playing season when you were maybe looking for your next spot that you clearly have found. Is that a true story, Baker? Would you say that?
It is. I mean, it's a little bit both ways, but I mean, it just, when I was looking at it, obviously the first time getting to pick where I was going to play, just organizationally wise, top down, they run a tight ship. They do it well. They've had a lot of success. And so, coming from some of the places I've been, it was a pretty easy choice. And it's been great so far. And just, ever since walked into the doors in April, it's been so much fun. I mean, everybody's on the same page. It's all about winning. There's no extra BS. It's just a great group all around.
Yeah, and then now the 3-1 start. What has leapt out at you over the first month of the season, Baker?
To be honest, I mean, we knew what our expectations were, but I just think we have a group that we have a fighting team. Like we're scrappy. We're never gonna back down from a fight. I mean, it's a group that they're willing to do anything to win. I'll say that. Obviously we didn't play well against the Eagles. We all knew that, but then we had another physical matchup with division rival the Saints coming up the next week, and so just the way everybody handled their business, they were responsible, accountable for how we played the Monday night game, and we bounced back in a big way. And so it's a resilient team. I'll say that.
At any point, did you reach out to your Super Bowl ad friend, Tom Brady, for 2 cents on your current scene, Baker?
I did not. No, I'm letting him enjoy retirement.
Okay. I just figured, hey, what's going on around here? Nothing like that? Zero?
No,
Zero
nothing.
content?
Just handling it the best way I can. And just we're all in it together. So keeping it within the building.
I got to tell you, I mean, nobody ever wants to be the guy after the guy, and then the guy with 7 Super Bowl rings, Baker. Did that ever hit you? Did that ever hit your mindset at all about this?
Not really. I mean, Rich, you know me well enough. I'm going to do it, the best way I can. And he's the greatest to ever do it. There's no doubt about that. But we do it 2 completely different ways, 2 different versions, and I think for me, it's just getting back to the positive, enjoying football, enjoying the game, and loving my teammates. And that's the way I play my best. And so we're in a good place now, and I'm enjoying it.
Baker Mayfield here on the Rich Eisen Show. Who are the folks in your world that keep the external out, and you live in the internal, and you're able to just be you and live life and focus on winning football games, Baker? Who are those people? I
mean, I would not be able to survive without my wife. I love her to death. She's a soldier. She's a trooper. She's been through the ups and downs with me, stood by my side the whole way, and love her for that. And but just she makes life easy, but then also when I'm best friends with all my buddies that I grew up with. They know how to keep me humble. They'll point out the bad plays. They'll bring me back down to earth when I need it.
Really? Like what? What are they doing? Your friends from back in the
they
day?
always poke fun at how I sometimes get tackled in a very dramatic way. That I'm not the fastest guy, but I will take you in a 40-yard dash, though, Rich.
Yes, Baker. You know what? I wake up dangerous on the days I lace it up. Or wait a minute, the day I lace it up. Just be careful. Be careful.
You ever thought about doing some training prior to that, or what?
Baker, let's not get started on that.
Oh my gosh.
Let's not get started.
Yes, the most important person in my life, my wife, is lockstep with you. The number of times she's like, "Why don't you train?" And I'm like, "Because it's me." You know what I mean? Like I don't know. You know. But what if I just dropped 15 and just trained for it and went out and broke 5 seconds and just mic dropped? What do you think, Baker? You think I could do that?
I'm here for it.
Okay.
I'll start supporting. We'll bring in a nutritionist. We'll get the training going. We'll cut weight.
Okay. We'll do that.
I'm here for it.
Okay, Baker. Yeah. I'm going to hold you to that. You're the perfect person to ask this question to. Number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft on your third team right now. And I look at someone like Jared Goff too, right? Former number 1 overall pick in the draft, now on his second team. And when you go from the team that drafted you to another team, essentially you're no longer that same person in the mind's eye of so many different people. Like, how difficult is it to play quarterback in this league? And what do you say to those who kind of throw to the side top draft choice quarterbacks just because it may not happen in their first spot that quickly, Baker?
Yeah, I mean, playing quarterbacks, it's a ton of responsibility. There's a lot that is involved with it between, obviously the physical aspect of it, you have to play well, but you're really like the CEO of a company. You're responsible for mending the relationships, keeping those, and making sure everybody's on the same page. But, the thing about it that I always say to people is when you're picked that high, they have a high pick for a reason. Unless a team, acquired from a trade or something like that, you're going to a team that hasn't had a lot of success. And so there's when it comes down to playing quarterback, like I said, there's so much more that goes into it. But I'm a firm believer everything happens for a reason. And, much like Jared's situation, I think, we're better off from the lessons we learned and the things that we've gone through, all the ups and downs. You can't look at it in a negative mindset. You have to be able to take positives away from it and learn from those mistakes that we've made. And that's why I'm able to have success now and have a clean mind about it, is because there's so many things that I learned and did wrong when I was younger, but I wouldn't change it because I had to learn and grow from it.
So what is the lesson you learned of the greatest importance, do you think, Baker?
Being the same guy in the building every day. We work too hard throughout the week preparing and getting ready for the game to let it affect the result. Win or lose, we know that we left our best stuff out there. We tried our best, and there's 17 games, and so you gotta bounce back and work for the next one. So good, bad play, it's on to the next one. That's the mindset you got to have.
Why? Because you would just let stuff linger, losses linger?
And let it affect relationships, let it affect personal life, things like that. And just you can't let the negativity seep into your life, because you can't have success on the field if you do that.
So when did you learn that? When did you decide, okay, you took stock and you're like page turn on that? When did that happen specifically in your career, do you think?
Last year, to be honest with you. Obviously when Cleveland was moving on, there was a time period where I was just kind of in limbo, knowing I wasn't going to play for them, not knowing where I was going to get picked up at. But just, and then in Carolina, when I wasn't playing, just being the best teammate I could for whether it was PJ Walker or Sam Darnold playing, being a guy in that locker room that has a lot of experience, had been through the ups and downs, to be able to be a constant person and support piece in that locker room. And so it was a different perspective for me, but there were valuable lessons and things that I'll cherish forever, and I'll be better for it.
Baker Mayfield, quarterback of the 3-1 Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a bye week. Few minutes left with him right here on the Rich Eisen Show. Red River Showdown, sir. You and Vince Young are doing something together? What do you got? What's happening here?
I'm not going to talk about Vince.
Okay. Yeah.
I like the guy, but not this week. It's horns down forever. You know what?
I like it.
This couldn't have happened at a better time, though. Talk about it. We're 3-1. Bye week's happening. I'm going to the game as a spectator.
You are.
I mean, it's fantastic. So I'm looking forward to it.
Are you tailgating and everything? You're going to do the whole thing? What are you doing?
I'm going to bury about 3 funnel cakes at the state fair.
Doesn't beat a funnel cake.
Those I can only imagine how great the funnel cakes are at the state fair,
it's
Baker.
It's going to be great. And tomorrow I'm working at a Cane's in Dallas, handing out some food at the drive-thru. And I'm going to give my best effort for that, too.
Yeah. 2 lucky customers getting some football-themed swag for others in line. Okay. So you're going to do that one at Raising Cane's, giving away football.
Raising Cane's, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. And so
hand out some food. Maybe get lucky enough and walk away with a Caniac combo. We'll see.
Okay. So Oklahoma is going to be doing what this weekend? What do you got for me on that front?
It's a good matchup. I like our chances. I like where we're at defense-wise. I mean, Venables last year didn't have, the roster-wise, coming in, lost a lot of guys to transfer portal. I mean, that whole world is crazy. Won't even get into that. But offense is rolling. I think we can score on anybody. But this is a tough matchup for us. Texas has the O lineman and D lineman that they've been missing for a long time. So it's going to be back to that physical matchup this rivalry should be about.
The words Texas is back. You hear it all the time, right? You hear it year after year. But this time, Baker, I'm hearing it more than ever. Look at you laughing. But this is it, right? I mean, of all the times for Oklahoma to win, this is when everybody really feels Texas is back right now,
Well, yeah, I mean, they'll feel that, but to be honest with you,
yes,
it's fantastic that I'll have more Big 12 championships than they ever did.
I love it. And you said again, you woke up relaxed. Get the hell out of here with that. Come on.
With a clear mind, clear fighting mind today.
I like it. And again, I don't know how attuned you are to everything going on in college football, but would Caleb Williams get your vote right now for a back-to-back Heisman, Baker Mayfield?
Kid's a stud. He definitely would. I mean, he's unbelievable. The things that he can do, it's amazing to see. And that being somebody that's played in Lincoln's offense, to be able to see what Lincoln's able to do with him and the creativity, it's fun to watch. I mean, it's just a shame I'm on the East Coast, so all those games are a little bit later.
Right. And the words Patrick and Mahomes keep getting thrown around. And I got to be honest with you, I kind of joined that chorus this week after watching. I watched him for the first time against Deion in Colorado because, obviously I love Deion and known him for so long. So I'm totally locked in on that. First time I watched quarter one to quarter last this year of Caleb Williams. And I got to tell you, there were moments where he looked just like Mahomes, Baker. Would you agree with that?
It's the throwing off the platform. I completely agree. Being able to throw from every possible angle, he can turn nothing into something, and that's an elite trait that he has, and he's just gifted in that way. So I mean, he's and I met him for the first time in person when we did the Heisman House commercials.
Yes,
and he's a lot bigger than I thought too. So I mean, he's just a physical specimen, and he's able to do it. And you can tell the guys love being around him. He enjoys the game too. So he's just fun to watch.
I love those commercials. What's it like shooting those, Baker?
It's so much fun. It really is. I mean, just a couple of days getting to be around the guys. I mean, it's such an elite fraternity. I mean, sometimes I have to, take a step back and realize what a special group to be a part of. And so they're so much fun to film, and it's always good to be back with those guys.
Like hanging with Bo Jackson, right? I mean, is that what you're doing pretty much?
Yeah. We're doing that, trying to get Barry Sanders to say a couple words, maybe even a hello.
He doesn't do that, though. Don't worry. It's not you. It's nothing personal. That's just Barry,
Exactly. So, I don't take it personal. The first year I might have, but Bo was giving him a hard time. So it's always entertaining.
So cool. All right, Baker. Great connecting with you, man. You know this. I say this off the air. I'll tell it again. You look. This is when Michigan was losing to Ohio State all the time. When you planted that flag, you had me at hello. You totally had me at hello, man.
I love you, Rich.
Yeah, right. I feel the same exact way. Go ahead, Chris. Tell him. Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead. Tell him. It's okay.
Rich has 2 sons. I say you're his 3rd son. He loves you so much.
Oh my gosh.
I'll take it. Now I'll just work on getting you guys to the Bahamas. We'll have
Thank you.
Thank
We'll all be
you,
on the same page.
Okay.
Now we're talking.
There is.
I'll settle for a dive bar with you and Mike Evans.
Yeah, no doubt.
There's no I in Baker. He's a team player for you guys. But there is 2 I's in Rich and Eisen, and he's mine, so back off. All right, Baker, take care of yourself, man. Be well.
Appreciate you guys.
You got
See
it.
you.
Enjoy the rest of your bye week. That's Baker Mayfield getting ready to down 3 funnel cakes at the State Fair.
That sounds
Oh, that
delicious.
sounds amazing.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.